Okay, good afternoon. So today we're looking at Financial Mathematics, Chapter 11. Okay. So just some revision on your financial maths from grade 8, 9 and 10. Okay. We are told that money borrowed from a bank or any other financial institution must be paid back together with an interest. Then we're told that interest is the cost of borrowing money, and is usually calculated as a percentage of money borrowed. Okay, so if you're going to borrow money from a bank, they're going to charge you for it. Okay, so you'll pay. So if for argument's sake you borrowed 100,000 over 5 years, you will pay them back 160,000 over that 5-year period. If you borrow R1,000,000 over 20 years to buy a house, you will pay them back minimum 2.6 million. Okay, so what happens is that is what interest is, and it's calculated to that. Okay, it's added to that, and if you take a loan over a longer period, if you take the loan over 25 years, then you're paying more than 2.6 million. Okay, so they don't mind giving you a loan over a longer period. Why? Because why? They're gaining more from it. Okay. Then we are told that interest is also paid out on savings and investments. So if you invest money into a financial institution, you also get an interest back, a kickback. Okay. So we get two types of interest. We get simple interest and we get compound interest. Okay. So simple interest follows the formula. Just write here quickly. The simple interest follows the formula A equals P into 1 plus I times N. Okay. Guys, remember that formula of last year? Did you do financial maths last year? We did. Okay. So what is your A value? Okay, we can list this. A is your final amount. Put it, final amount. The final amount, which could also be calculated as your principal plus your interest. Put that in brackets. The final amount is going to be, could also be represented as the principal, which is your initial amount, plus the interest earned over that time period. Okay? Your P, what is your P? Your principal or your starting value or your initial value. Your I is your rate over 100. So your I is your rate over 100. And your N is your time in years. N is your time in years. Alright, are you all okay with that? Is there any confusion? No. So which formula is this for? Simple interest. Now if you look at compound interest, what's the compound interest formula? Who can remind us? A equals? Yes, P into 1 plus I, yes, to the exponent. What does A represent? Final amount, same as before, which also can be calculated as your principal plus your interest. What does your P represent? Starting value, initial value. Not so? Your I is your rate over 100, and your N is time in years. Is there any confusion? Are you all with me? So in example 1, and this is on page, what page is this on? Somebody. 366. Okay. We are told that Naledi deposits 20,000 Rand into a savings account. So what is this 20,000 rand? Your A or your P value? Must be your P value. Starting point. The interest paid on the savings account is 9%. So what is that? It's your R. So what would your I value be? 9 over 100. And 9 over 100 is also equal to what? Check on your calculators. 9 over 100 is also equal to what? 9%. Yes? 9 over 100. In decimal it's what? 0.09. Not so. So from now onwards, you're never going to see me write 9 over 100. I go straight into 0.09. Yeah? Simple interest. So what does that tell us? We must use the simple interest formula. Calculate the total amount of the savings at the end of 7 years. What does this tell us? Our N. Not so. So we got our P, we got our A. We know its formula. So what are we actually calculating? Calculate the total amount or the final amount. We are actually calculating. Do you all understand? Okay. At this point you can pause the video or you can give you some time to do the sum. I'm going to do it one time. A is equal to P into 1 plus I times. The bell's going to ring soon, so let's push along. Okay. So what's your P value? We said it's going to be 20,000. So it's going to be 20,000 into 1 plus 0.09 times 7. Put that in the calculator. So we got 20,000, open brackets, 1 plus 0.09 times 7. It's going to give you 32,600. So, did anybody else get that same answer? If the question was, how much interest was earned on this account? How would you have worked that out? Sorry? How would you have worked that out? What? The question is how much interest was earned. So interest is also equal to, this was not the question. Interest is going to be A minus P, which is 32,600 minus 20,000, which gives us an answer of 12,600. The 12,600 rand was your interest earned on that. Is there any confusion? You all okay with this, no? Let's look at number 2. Question 2. We are told that Sam borrows 9,000 rand to buy a fridge and repays the loan over 4 years with equal monthly payments. So what does this tell us? What is that? 9,000 rand will be what? P value, not so. He repays it over 4 years. What does this tell us? In his form. Equal monthly payment. The interest charged on the loan is 15% simple interest. So what is this? R. Simple interest. So when we read simple interest, what do we know? We say simple interest. Simple interest formula. What's the simple interest formula? A is equal to P into 1 plus I times on the total amount of the loan over the 4 years. Calculate the total amount of money including the interest that you must pay over the 4-year period, over 4 years. So what are we calculating here? Calculating the A value. Not so. So let's do the substitution. What's your P going to be? 9,000 into what? 1 plus 0,15 times by 4. So work that out. Right, so what do we get? 14,400. But have I answered the question? The total amount of money including the interest that must be repaid over 4 years? Yes, that is correct. Okay? In the B part of the question, they ask you to work out the monthly installment. How do you work out the monthly installment? It will be A over N times 12. Not so? What's your A value? 14,400 over N. How many years is this? 4 years. So it will be 14,400 over 4 times 12. Or I could have said divided by 48 is the same thing. Okay? So that's going to give me answer divided by 48. Do 300 Rand. Any confusion there? No. Okay, so if there was some confusion, you can go home again, rewatch the video, and try and do it first, and then see if you get it right. Okay. Got 4 minutes left for these two sums, so I'm going to go straight into it. Now lady is in question 2 and 1. Now lady got a lot of money. No? Let's find out who the lady is. Okay. Your name na lady, no? Nice. I like it. Right, now lady deposits 20,000 Rand into a savings account. This time the interest paid on the savings, okay, so the scenario is linked to question 1. This time the interest paid on the savings is 9% compounded interest, and the interest is compounded annually. Calculate the total amount in the savings account. Yes. So they want to know on the savings account the end of 7 years. So we got A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the exponent n. Why this formula? Compound interest. What's your P value? 20,000 into 1 plus I, 9%. So 0,09 to the exponent 7. So work that out. It's going to be 20,000 into 1 plus 0,09 the exponent 7. It gives me 36,560 Rand and 78 cents. Okay, what was the question? Calculate the total amount of money in the savings account. So that's the amount. If they ask you how much interest was earned, I would have subtracted 20,000 Rand from it. The last question before we leave, we all want to run. In example 4, we are told that 100,000 Rand is deposited into a savings account for 12 years. So that is going to be your P value. For 12 years is your N value. Calculate the total amount accumulated. Accumulated is the sum of your interest and your principal. Accrued, in other words. In the savings account at the end of this period for each of the following cases. Here we have two scenarios. The interest is simple interest. So what do we do for simple interest? Simple interest formula. A is equal to P into 1 plus I times N. So it's going to be 100,000 into 1 plus I, which is 0,115 times N, which is 12. Okay? So it's 100,000 into 1 plus 0,115 times 12. That gives you 238,000 straight. Okay. Any confusion here? No? And then for the B part of the question, we are told the interest is 11.5% per annum compound interest. So compound formula. A is equal to P into 1 plus I to the exponent n, which is 100,000 into 1 plus 0,115 to the exponent 12. You'll see that this amount will be definitely higher than that. And during tomorrow's lesson, I'll explain to you and refresh your memory why.
Can I have the teacher's attention? A reminder that the invigilation training is starting now in Ms. Van's classroom.
So,
Invigilation training is starting now in room 13.
To the exponent 12.
Thank you.
And that gives us 369,000. 369,231, 21. You see how much more you're getting on a compound interest investment. Okay. People, enjoy the rest of your day. Good afternoon. For homework, before I forget, you almost got away with it, but not yet. People, for homework, I want you guys to do exercise 11.1. That is 11.1. Okay. Yes. It's only 7 sums. Why is the whole one? Enjoy the rest of your day, people. Good afternoon.